Hey Siri, turn the music off.
Pause in the living room.
Or just, you know.
I stopped the living
Thank you. Thank you, Siri.
This is our mic. I don't know what we should do with it. Your
We need,
water.
we need like. If we just.
Put it here. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy.
Oh, there's the clip.
That should be good enough. Okay. What's the date today?
Today's June. Are we on?
We're on.
June 27th.
We
2024.
are 2024. We are 45 days.
You're 45 days.
Well, 45 days after Costa Rica since
Yeah.
we did our last confessional.
We're back in Newport.
I feel like we're not centered.
I feel like we're also not centered. Go this way. No, it's gonna follow us. Okay, now we're centered. Well, I'm centered.
I'm gonna sit on top of you. All right. Yes.
So, okay, it's June. We're in Newport. It's 45 days since Costa Rica.
I moved in.
Oh, Jen moved in with me.
I live here now.
We are now one person.
Yes. You see?
We're matching. Maybe we'll match every time we record.
Oh, that would be funny.
We're so dumb. Okay. So we re-entered this like society, which was a little rocky, a little bit. Jen moved, she came back, and then she went to Peru.
Yeah, I went to Peru after Costa Rica, and then I came home, packed up all my stuff. Thank you. And moved
Roger
in.
that.
And this was all like not planned. Everything just fell into place. I needed a new place. You had a place.
Yeah. So we lived together in Costa Rica, and then like her place was just not working anymore, and I was like, I got a space, and then because we cohabitated, it was
so
like
well.
so well
Yeah.
and like vibed. I was just like, fucking move in. Like, don't sign a lease. Don't do anything else. Just do the easy thing.
Yeah. So I'm just here. I gotta fix this. It's driving me nuts.
Do the easy thing is my motto most of the time.
Yeah,
Well,
they
not
were-
half the time.
Yeah.
Half the time. Less
Do
stress.
less. Do less. That's
do
your motto.
less, but intentionally do more.
Yes. For
So
yourself.
like for yourself, but like I feel like once you are intentional with what you're trying to accomplish, you don't have to put out so much energy in trying to get that thing accomplished. It happens for you, like this move. Jen had been like thinking about moving and having some kind of friction, and she was like worried about it and like started looking, and it was like this tense energy and tense.
I was very close to moving in with my parents.
Yeah, no.
Very close.
No.
I was desperate.
No.
I just wanted to get out of my situation, and I didn't have a lot of time to figure stuff out before my busy season started, and this just worked out perfectly.
Right, and so she did less.
I did
and
less.
the best opportunity provided itself.
And I didn't overthink it.
And if you had been pushing too much on yourself, I think you would have pushed this opportunity away.
100%. And Peru, let's talk about that while we're talking about pushing stuff away. Had I not done Costa Rica, done the reset, I would have pushed myself way too hard in Peru. And you brought that up and made me realize that, because I would have tried to do all the hiking and I bailed out. I rode a horse, which was my favorite experience.
There's nothing wrong with riding a horse in Peru, let me tell you.
The altitude was killing me. I had motion sickness the whole time, which that's new.
Things are new in your 40s.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
new.
So yeah, I did less in Peru, which was smart, and I didn't hurt myself. I didn't maim myself because I had to get back to work. I need my knees. Going downhill for 3 hours was not fun in Peru. Also hiking for 5.5 hours and then taking a lunch break after having maybe like 4.5 hours of sleep, which
No.
they don't tell you any of this.
We're not 20.
No,
It's fine.
No, but there was like an older woman who surpassed all of us.
But that's not where you're at, nor do you want to be.
Maybe when I get older. But this trip was about surrendering and just relaxing and not pushing myself as hard as everyone else was, even though at times like my ego was like, you can do more, but I knew I couldn't. So I didn't.
And I think that's like a lot of what Peru is.
Emmy, come here.
Is it's emotional. I think all of Peru is emotional, honestly.
Yeah.
And your experience for that was to sit with your own ego and sit with
Yeah.
why you were choosing to hike and why you were choosing not to hike. Like, and what it was doing for you and only you, and not how it was going to look to other people or how you were going to be perceived by the group.
Yeah, 100%. I would have really like fucked myself up if I had done what everyone else was doing, knowing that I was having a really hard time in Peru. My dog is like, what is going on? Come here, Em. You want to sit with us?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She
See you
just
later.
wants nothing to do. She's
Yeah.
like, maybe actually, hold on.
She's a little scared of the deck.
Which I like that she's scared of the deck.
Yeah.
Because there's like these things, and her little nugget head could go right in there.
And it's a drop.
Yeah, she's not surviving.
No.
She's not bouncing back. There's no trampoline down there.
She's smart. She won't. She knows. She's right there in the house.
So we're sitting on Thames Street right now in Newport. Like, the main street is right behind us, and everybody's walking by, going to dinner, going to eat food before they get hammered.
Revving up their loud motorcycles and cars.
Also doing
This
that.
is all we hear. 24 hours.
Well, the motorcycles start around 2.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard it the other night, but there was somebody driving around and they were just using an air horn.
Yes, we were sitting in the living room with you.
No, but it went on for like hours after. You went upstairs and went to bed, and just they.
Slept through the air horn.
Yeah, you slept through the air horn. You can sleep through a lot of stuff. I probably could have slept there too, but I was laughing because I'm like, there has to be like some chick that's just scorned. Like she's mad. There's some dude in here that lives in this neighborhood that did something
Fucked
naughty.
something up. Hinge. I blame Hinge or Bumble.
100%. We're on Hinge. We're on Hinge.
We're both.
And how do we stop each other from talking to the same person?
Well, I'm set in a different location.
Okay.
So I'm not even in this area anymore. Like I'm done with this region.
I take screenshots and I send them to her. I'm like, are you talking to this dude?
But I think I don't know if that's going to be an issue ever.
No, because the short guys like me and the tall guys like you, we just go by height. I'm like, oh, 5'2", wonderful. Not wonderful. No offense.
So talk more about your trip to Peru, because I think a lot of people...
Oh, Peru. Peru was fun. Peru was very challenging at times, and I didn't understand the gravity of what I was actually getting into and what I was doing.
I did.
She knew.
I knew exactly what was happening.
It was very tough on me emotionally and mentally. Mentally, I wanted to go, and there were so many times where we were just stopping and pausing, and we had to sit down with 16 girls and have a meal, and that took forever. And then we had to pack up our bags, and nothing was on my time.
Well, I think that's the hardest thing, like as an independent person who runs their own business and everything is on your own time, than to go into a collective group, especially being all women. Like, that's even harder.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if you had men in the dichotomy, because they would have like softened the energy of that female fierce alphaness.
Most men just go with the flow, but every woman is like, I have a plan.
Yeah, I have a system.
I need to execute this.
And you're
This is
not
how we're
telling me what
doing
to
it.
do.
Yeah, you're not telling me what to do.
And yes, they are telling
Yeah.
you what to do the whole time.
We did have 2 men that were running the whole thing, 2 Peruvian men, Kenny and Manny, and they were amazing, and they definitely softened the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they set the tone. And there was no, when we were like at our wit's end and we were ready to cry, they were like, it's okay, just keep going. Keep going.
It's fine.
There's also, they call them Inca bathrooms, because you hike for 4.5 hours and they look at you funny when you're like, I have to pee. We're women, we have to pee all the time. Men don't, or they can just whip it out and go in a bush. We can't. So that was...
Crosswords.
Yeah, that was kind of an issue for a lot of us, because there's nowhere to pee. There's also other groups of 16 people in groups around us that are passing us at different times. So even if you wait for your group to get out of the way, it just was a whole thing. and the bathrooms are a whole thing too. We're not going to get into that because
It's like basically like a hole in the floor that you squat over and piss.
it's yeah.
And there's one piece of toilet paper that you have to pay for.
Yeah, 1 sol or 2 sols. You
Yeah.
have to pay for the toilets in Peru wherever you go, unless
Yeah.
you're staying at we were staying at a really nice hotel that we had filtered water. That was another thing. You can't drink the water in Peru. You'll get super sick. Like diarrhea, stomach aches. I didn't get any of that, and I was brushing my teeth with the water.
So lucky.
Fucking rebel. I kept forgetting, to be honest with you. And then sometimes...
Mental note, this also happens in Bali. So take a take a note on that.
Just Bali Belly.
Keep going with Peru though. I don't want to like steer this.
What else can I talk about besides how hard the trip was? I definitely am still having like reflections that keep coming up. Because when I got home, I was like, I'm done, that's it.
Like you're just getting started. You haven't even started it.
I don't know if I want to hike anymore.
Yeah, you're like, I'm burning the hiking.
I just spent all this money on equipment, and I'm like, did I make a bad choice?
Yes.
Who wants to buy this on Poshmark?
Yeah.
No, Hey!
Hey-oh. It's early. It's daylight.
Oh, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
The people are out.
I love it.
No, I'm definitely going to keep hiking, but I'm just not going to fuck around with altitude.
No, it kicks your ass and it eats you, and then you're like in this point where you have to like go to like your lowest part to like pull from, I think.
Yeah, you really got to dig deep.
You gotta like dig super deep within yourself, like emotionally, to like figure out how you're going to handle whatever the thing is in front of you.
You have no choice. You just have to
You can
handle
either
it.
do it or not do it, but know that there's like a deep emotional response that you're gonna have to either one of those decisions.
It's like birthing a child. There's no turning around. You just have to like get through it.
Yeah. If you don't hike, it's 12 hours of you being by yourself, reflecting on you being a pussy, you not doing what everybody else is doing, how they're gonna judge you, that you like aren't as strong as them, that you like
Which
are
did happen
actually
to
a
me.
weak person.
That did happen to
that
me
you're
the last day.
pretending, then imposter syndrome comes up. You don't think you're actually you, and you're playing this role. This all happens while you're by yourself in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can choose to go on the hike that you know is going to kick the shit out of you, and then be in pain and suffering for like 2 to 3 months after. Because
Yeah, you got to pick your poison.
yeah. So these are the
Literally.
options. And yeah,
I just booked a ticket to hell.
she caught
Sign
on.
me up. That sounds great. No, it was an amazing trip. We did Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
I was going to do Rainbow Mountain. I got really sick on the way to Rainbow Mountain my last day. I was the only one. I woke up 2 hours after a van ride and just booted all over the floor. Yeah, and everybody was sleeping on the van. Poor souls. I felt so bad.
They weren't vomiting. They have nothing to complain about.
I know, but like all I could think about was the Goonies movie where like Chunk is like, I threw up, and then everyone else threw up. And I'm like, I don't want everyone behind me to start like throwing up. And I was trying to tell the person who was driving it that was in charge, like, I'm going to be sick. Like, pull over. And hey lady. She tried to give me a plastic bag to like a small
Ziploc
sandwich bag. And it was unseen by the time she was leaning over. And then they spray alcohol on your hands and have you smell it because it takes the nausea away. But we were already sick. It already had happened. So we stopped at a breakfast place, and it was 40 degrees, and it was windy and cold. And we had another hour of driving, and I just decided I'm not doing this shit. I really wanted to see Rainbow Mountain, but I sat in that restaurant by myself for an hour and a half and waited for David. Shout out to David, to pick me up. And it was cute. He sent me like where he was, his location on my iPhone. So I watched him slowly get to me, and I waited there and felt like a loser because everyone was on Rainbow Mountain having the time of their life. They weren't though. They came back and told me it was very difficult because we got up to 15,000 in elevation on the trail 2 days prior to that, and Rainbow Mountain's 18,000. Which is no joke. And we had acclimated for days, and they all still had a really hard time. They said they felt like they were walking in mud. Yeah, like really slow,
Like cement.
couldn't breathe. Yeah, like cement. And it's just such a mind fuck.
Uh-huh.
I really wish I had made it, but I knew I needed to go home. Oh, and I went home. I went back to my hotel. I slept for 13 and a half hours.
Says everything right there.
Yeah.
She made the right decision.
Yeah, the person who was in charge, Meredith. Hi, Meredith. I love you. She texted me, and I didn't answer because I was out, and she was like, I just want to make sure you're alive. And I'm like, barely. We're hanging on. But it was the last day, and I was so happy to get on that plane for 24 hours, get home.
The longest flights home.
Yeah, get home and move and get right back to work.
And she did.
Yep, I did. I'm here.
She lives here.
I live here. We did not plan this, but I went shopping the other day and I got her. If I buy one, I buy her one. Anyone knows me knows I do that to a lot of my friends because I'm thoughtful. And also,
thoughtful.
I think we should match from now on.
Yeah, we're going to do matching. We'll do the matching show.
Yeah, the matching show. We'll see. So loud.
What else happened? So Jen's in the middle of like the spiritual transition that's just starting to unravel.
Figuring it out.
It started in Costa Rica, and then
Costa Rica really is.
that was a bigger Band-Aid pull.
Yeah.
I feel like Peru is just like, it's just like pulled the side of it a little bit off, and you are about to like peel.
Yeah. I think we'll figure out. I think August it'll really kind of
Yep.
unravel. By then, it's going to take me a while. I'm still kind of, what happened?
And then November, another download will happen.
Yeah. And then I want to go to Joe
Dispenza. In
Joe
November.
Dispenza
That's going to be like
in
shooting
November.
Out of a cannon.
Yeah, we'll see. Things are changing. Things are definitely, my brain is recalibrating. I can feel it. I can sense it. I don't know what's going to come of it. You
No.
do.
Yeah,
you
I
have
do.
a little inkling. I know
I
you do. I can
know.
see it in the.
I know
see the
what's
little
gonna
twinkle in
happen.
your eye. You're like, just watch.
I've been quietly like sitting here in the background, just like,
Yeah.
because I knew before Costa Rica.
Plotting my growth, not my demise. That's nice.
No, just
It's nice to have
growth.
a good friend like that.
Just like she has no idea what she's in for, like, at all.
Yeah.
It's such. These two locations are very like magical locations to begin with, and then to go with a group. Like, I had been to Costa Rica before. I had been to the exact location that we were going to, and I knew.
And Peru.
And Peru.
I'm gonna grab the dog. I think that's what we keep looking at.
And it is what we're looking at. And so I knew what I was bringing her to Costa Rica, and I knew what she was about to step into in Peru. But everyone has their own experience, and then also going with someone who's done like both of those things, but not being with me for both of those things, just the first part, and then going to Peru with a different group of women who are very connected in different types of ways is.
I mean, I met a lot of cool people. I made a lot of cool friends. Like,
This is Emmy.
Oh yeah, this is my dog Emmy. She's a 6-pound Chiser, which is a Schnauzer Chihuahua. She's one.
She's
Emmy
so
with an
good.
IE. Everyone like spells her name wrong. Yeah, she's the cutest, but she was like under the grill, so we had to we had to bring her in.
We had to go get her.
Yeah, Peru's gonna be an interesting download because I'm still not sure what the fuck happened. It was just such a blur. But I'm excited for more opportunities to challenge myself now, which
They're coming.
which I wasn't before. Now I'm less scared. I'm still terrified.
They're coming like a freight train for her. That I do know, and I will say that out loud. I usually don't share things that I feel about shifts in people, because I don't want to take away from their experience of just living it through without someone planting it or seeing it before they're ready to experience. Because I think I've had experiences personally where I did share those things, and they weren't ready to receive that information. They were ready to receive the information when it happened to them organically, and that's what I'm finding.
Yeah, I'll fight it.
Yeah, you're gonna fight it if you
Yeah.
know.
If
Especially
I know, I'll fight it. But
you're gonna fight it anyways.
Well,
You're gonna fight
hopefully.
it anyways.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely. And then I think you'll be like, fine. I get it now. I get it now. It makes sense to me. But like, there's things are gonna happen in you, and then it's gonna come through you, and you're gonna be able to see the thing.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the growth. I'm terrified, but I'm
Don't be
excited.
afraid. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And you have like a great support person.
Well, the one thing I keep telling like my friends, and I've repeated this in the past many, many times, is that I love watching like old me versus new me and seeing the evolution. Because some people just don't evolve at all. And I was always scared of that. Staying in a small town my whole life. Like, I've lived here forever. I love it. And it is a wedding mecca, and that's kind of what I do right now. So it makes sense to be here. But I just feel like change is like healthy and coming now, unless I'm not as scared of it anymore. I think.
We.
Wee. But yeah.
I'm like, hit me with a fucking fireball. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're going to take a hard left anytime now.
Hard left.
Hard left, and you're going to smile and nod through the whole thing.
This is fun.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. Mind you, the kid on the teacup that's like screaming. Have you seen the meme where she's like this little tiny
Insert meme.
like child who is screaming, scared in this like
Well,
ride?
if you're not scared, I think you're doing it wrong. I mean,
Yeah, you are doing it wrong.
you just gotta jump and sometimes not look and just land
Look.
or don't.
Look, but you know where you're jumping.
Yeah.
You gotta jump.
Emmy's like, is that food?
Yeah, she's like, where's this fucking chicken? Where's the chicken? Bitch.
What else? What's next? More confessions? Do you guys like these
Yeah,
confessions?
they do.
Do you want us to talk more about navigating Hinge? Because that's been interesting.
Interesting.
I've taken a decade off of dating. My parents are questioning if I'm gay or not. I'm not. But dating was intimidating for me for a long time. And I also just wanted to focus on work. So that's something I'm including into my life now again. And I hate it.
It's hard, but it's also good in a way. Like
It's scary for me.
It's scary, I think, for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I think there's such an unknown on the other side that you don't know if this person is even telling you like an inkling of the truth, to be honest with you, let alone are they catfishing you? Like, is this actually a
Yeah.
real human that I'm seeing in these
Or
pictures?
are you a sociopath?
Are you a sociopath? That's another like nice layer to put into this. But then maybe they aren't, and maybe they're actually just doing what you're doing, and
Yeah.
they're really trying to like figure out how to date.
They're out there.
And so you just keep having hope that like it's less sociopaths and more people trying to do what you're doing. And I think what you put into it also, and how you position yourself with it, is like really important, because you can't take anything like personally, and you can't take anyone's garbage personally. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of garbage that shows up online dating, and dating in general. Like, you reflect a lot of like darkness in your partner and also light in your partner, but you can activate a lot of triggers in people without even realizing it, and not knowing them to know what those triggers are is like such a learning curve at the beginning of dating.
We're just shoe shopping right now.
We're shoe shopping. We found a couple good shoes. We didn't buy them, but like the
trying
shoes,
them on.
the shoes are getting better. The options are like starting to get better, and I think like how
I'm
I'm
shocked.
participating is better. So like that's the outcome that I'm receiving. I'm receiving higher caliber humans that are
You're showing up. You're going on
more
the dates.
sincere, you know, and I think it's what you put into it, you know.
I need to put more into it.
Well, not just like how, you know, like also knowing like, okay, this is what my standards are. I will be on the app, and if you communicate with me, not that I'm trying to give anyone a fucking guide on how to do this right now, but like,
No, give him a guide. I need a guide.
this is how I find it works for me, or like how I like to work within the app. Let's just say that, how I like to do it, because of all of the things I'm worried about, right? So if I match with someone online, chat for like a day, if homeboy is interested in me, he's going to
Get you off the app?
initiate getting my phone number and getting me off the app, and texting me, and then picking up the phone and calling and having a phone conversation like human beings do. Then like, you know, if you click with somebody, like, you know, like, listen, people have bad phone calls all the time. Like, I understand that's a sense of anxiety for people to like talk to strangers, but like, you're gonna go on a date with them and potentially sleep with them. So like, you gotta get through this part.
Yep.
So even if you're a bad phone talker, you got to know if you even vibe with this person. And you can tell if someone's struggling on the call because they struggle or they're just a douche. You can tell right then. And then if you're really interested, you'll set that up as a video call. Like FaceTime, my preference is literally chat to text to scheduling a FaceTime with me. And then based on that phone conversation, a date is created. I expect the gentleman to handle all of these things. I'm not going to try to schedule any of those things, but I will let you know that I'm interested and I want you to do those things, and I would appreciate it, and I would like to join you in said like activities.
How do you get them off the app?
They have to do it on their own.
What if they don't? What if
then I'm done.
What if you have a great connection? It's taking weeks for them to
No.
ask you for your phone number.
No. Like
No?
I'm done. Like
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, you know, like I've disengaged and someone wrote back, are you a bad communicator? And I'm like, actually, I'm a fantastic communicator. Usually the other person engages me. That's exactly how I
Yeah.
responded. And it wasn't like, usually somebody engages. That's not how I meant it. But like, this person didn't know how to have a conversation with me.
Well, also, you shouldn't be doing all the work.
Men need to like hunt. They need to like,
Yeah.
I need to know that you want to like play the game, and then I'll let you know if I want to play the game, but I'm not going to find it out. You're going to have to figure it out and come to me with that. And like, that's fucking hot, guys.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, let me explain how incredibly sexy it is when you make a fucking move and act like you have a ball bag.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
is
not,
sexy.
And I'm not saying this in any way from a dickish type of way, but
Well,
like women like a fucking man that is going to like take charge and like, daddy energy. Yes.
Daddy energy.
Yeah.
If you make the girl do everything, she's in her masculine energy, and that's not.
Yeah, and then she's gonna run your fucking household, and
Yeah.
like she's gonna run over you, and like you're gonna be a pussy, and she's gonna chew you up and spit you out. And I've watched it happen many fucking times, and I've done it many a times too.
Yeah, because you lose respect.
Yeah, like what exactly are you bringing to the table if I'm doing everything? You know, like, and I don't.
What
mean
about
it.
shy men?
Shy men?
Do
like,
you give them a pass?
Of course, but even a shy guy has the way that he communicates with you that you know that he's interested. It's not about like being like bold and in your face. It's just about letting us know that like you want to pursue this in some sort of way.
Sometimes they don't, though.
Do you want to have sex with the other person? They need to know that.
I have a lot of pen pals.
You need to stop putting energy and effort into pen pals. Because also what you're putting out there is letting them continue in their fear. So if he's a really shy guy and he's a sweet dude and you're breadcrumbing along with this motherfucker, then
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
listen, don't just say, hey, are you interested or not? I just sent a text to a dude the other night. I mean, no disrespect. This was coming from like the lovingest place, but I was like, listen, it just doesn't seem like you have the time or want to create the time to get to know me. No problems. Let me know if I'm receiving this information correctly. Like if I'm wrong, please correct me because I have been wrong a lot. And
Yeah, we're not mind readers.
and also, like, if you are interested, just like let me know. I never fucking heard from homeboy again. I don't know what you want. Do you want to
Bye.
text me every like month and like think that you're gonna? I have other energy to put out there.
Sometimes I feel like there's too many options on these dating apps where like they can't just hone in on one person.
Well, then you haven't seen what's on the other side. Like you don't have any idea what you're fucking with.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Good luck. Wish you the best. Swipe left if you're like, you know what I mean? Like keep it going. Keep it
Getting heated.
moving. No,
Keep it moving.
I'm not. I want to help.
Emmy wants to weigh in.
What are your thoughts? Do you swipe left or right, Emmy? I feel like it's just we are all running around blind and we're in a vacuum of people that aren't truthful as well.
Yeah.
And some people really have good intentions to trying to like find somebody, and that doesn't mean that every person that you connect with is going to work, because it's fucking not. We're shooting in a barrel over here, motherfuckers.
Can we disclose what happened like yesterday about the last name?
Oh yeah, I had a really amazing phone call with somebody who did exactly what I just talked about. I had to help him along a little bit.
A little bit.
We just had to let him know. He was just texting me. He hadn't picked up the phone to talk to me on the phone. And he was like, when are we going to go out to dinner? I'm like, as soon as you pick up the phone and call me and ask me out to dinner. And he was like, oh. I'm like, yeah. And
That's
then
how
he
it
did.
works.
And then he did. He really tried. Like, he called me a couple times. We talked. Attempted to make plans. He wanted to talk to me the next day. And I was like, I really connected with this guy. We had like a long, like 2-hour conversation. And then I sent him a message like, hey, what's your last name? Because I don't like saving people in my phone as first name Bumble. Like, I don't want to put you in Tom Hinge in my phone. I would like to treat you with some respect, like a human. Or not even put you in my phone at all, because if that's where you're at, I'm never probably going to meet you.
Yeah.
You have a connection. You want to give someone that respect. And he never responded to me, nor did he call me the next day.
Interesting.
And that's okay. That's where you're at.
Why can't you just give a last name? Like, I'll give you mine.
And there's no doubt in my mind I will hear from this motherfucker in about probably 2 weeks. No doubt. No doubt.
Have you had any, like, epic fails on Hinge yet?
No, I've had 2 relationships come out of online dating that didn't eventually work out because honestly, they like seemed so real that they were going to work, and we like actually connected, that both of the people that I had these relationships with spontaneously combusted and self-sabotaged because they were afraid, essentially, that both of them, their biggest fear was to be so vulnerable with someone and that it didn't work, and then they ended up leaving them in the future. Like, I was going to just be with them for a couple years and then they're going to fall in love with me, and then I would eventually leave them. That's what both of their fears were independently, and I never spoke about this with either one of them. But
were they both left prior?
One was married and left prior, and the other could never commit.
Funny,
but has 2 kids.
It's funny what kind of trying to date these men is what's bringing up for me, like the insecurity that I didn't know I had.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rejection's a big one. That's scary. I don't really deal with rejection because I don't let it happen.
But they're losing you.
I know, but it's also like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm awesome. Where are you going?
Maybe they're not.
Yeah. Or
that's the better people. Like, I'm not friends with everybody. I'm friends with very few people, actually. It's a very select group of people that I let in my circle. I have that same caliber of concern with the guys that I date, or at least I'm trying to be better. But I want to like.
It's summertime in Newport.
I know, fuck, we're fucked.
Yeah. See us in September. We're like, you get a ticket.
Yeah.
You get a ticket. You suck.
But like, it takes a lot to get in this network, and not everyone's gonna do it. So like, they're losing you.
Yeah.
They're not. You're not being rejected, and like, this is not your you're just not that person's person.
Yeah, it's just a lot of energy. It's a lot of
so
time.
much fucking energy and so much time, and so like frustrating because you could hit these lulls where you're like, am I ever gonna meet anybody?
Sometimes I just want to,
for fuck's sake,
do work. I don't feel like going on a date. Like, I bailed on a date today.
I know. She's just getting back in the waters. Yeah. I've been in the waters for, well, I was in like a 1-year thing, and then before then I was on dating apps for like a year, and then I was in like a 3 or 2-year thing that never really actually happened because he was afraid.
I don't know if I want to get in the water. All I see are sharks. I gotta get over that.
You gotta go play with the dolphins.
Yeah.
There's some dolphins. There's some good dudes out there.
I know.
I'm telling you, like, it gets better. And I know this might sound weird, but like, the more clear you get with yourself, and like the more confident you are with what you want, and like what you really want to, how you want to live your life. Because like, we're talking about we're in our 40s, right? It's not like we're 20 and we can go fuck off and like get married, fuck up our lives, and like,
yeah, you got to be selective,
and then get divorced and start.
These
this
are the best years of our life.
Again.
Like, I want it to be epic. I'm not just gonna hang out with Joe Schmo,
right? And so we're looking for our person that we want to spend like our future. Not that the people in their 20s weren't looking for that, but like, you're 20.
We're also really happy and pretty successful, so it's hard to let anyone in that's not gonna like make you shit rainbows.
Fucking like, eat us alive online. I can't wait to see the comments section on this fucking shit.
No, there's many women out there that run their own businesses or have their own careers and are single. I have tons of friends that are in the same predicament.
I think also that like, we don't want to be single. We want to have, we want to be in a relationship.
We want a first mate.
But we aren't going to settle for
sailboats.
Shit.
I ate a gummy.
Yeah, she did. We both did.
I can't focus.
Super thirsty. And I hope that the person who's probably around the same age that we're looking for is also so particular about who they allow in their circle, and that there's like a level of respect and understanding that you're just bringing to the table because of that. I think that starts it off on like a really good foundation.
That's my biggest discernment with men. Like, I have the utmost respect for men that aren't just willy-nilly out there, because, you know, a lot of them are. Like, if somebody is selective and they're picky about who they're dating and who they're actually pursuing, I find that just so amazing.
Yeah, be picky. Be picky as fuck.
Yeah.
And like put in the effort and energy.
I feel like if you're not picky, well, at our age, then you have like low confidence or low self-esteem.
And I don't mean like picky, like he needs to fucking buy me a Chanel bag and like I expect like diamonds and shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the caliber of human and the integrity that this person brings to the fucking table, picky. That if they say something to you, they fucking do it because like they said it to you. And like, listen, everyone has their shit and sometimes shit doesn't happen, but you can actually believe their word. And how they show up and communicate with you will also be completely transparent as best they can based on that.
They're out there.
Yeah, I mean, it gets better. It's been getting better and better and better. And even like the dude who disappeared, like, was a high caliber human being who I was like, God damn. Like,
Maybe he just got busy, or maybe he doesn't want to disclose his last name yet.
Maybe everybody has a minute in the day to respond to a message or return a phone call. I don't give a fuck if you're the president of the United States. If you are into somebody, you have a minute to respond and you have a minute to
you
make
make
a call. Like, I don't care if you're in the bathroom in between meetings. Like, at some point you have to go to sleep. At some point you have to wake up in the morning. And at some point you're going to the bathroom. So, like...
Not to mention our phones are attached to us.
Yeah, I'm too busy is boring. Like, I know too many high-performing human beings for that to be a fucking excuse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
And I am one, and I'm not being a dick about it. But, like, if I can fucking make time for you, I'm running 3 goddamn businesses. Like...
So,
figure it the fuck out.
If he does message you back, would you give him a chance?
Yeah, I probably would if he was like, listen, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I would totally communicate with this person. He doesn't owe me shit. That's another thing. Like,
right.
But I'm going to give him shit about, listen, like, I'm...
Yes, yes.
Just to be clear, like, I'm looking for something, like, to connect with someone and someone to put in effort. And I want to do the same. But, like, I don't want to just have a phone call with you once a month. Like, that's not a relationship. That's not going to be a relationship.
No,
and
that's
like,
a pen pal.
I have enough people writing me emails. I don't need a pen pal, you know, and fucking, they're like texting me too. Like, no.
Yeah, and it's exhausting. We've got work.
Yeah, and if you're not into it, you're not into it. Like, cool. Get it. We get it. But like, you have to come correct. I think that's the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Is that, and I have to come correct. Like, I'm not like pointing a finger here. I also have to come correct, and if I don't come correct, it shows up in the caliber of people that I am talking to and like who I'm attracting.
Yep.
It totally reflects that. And I think it's shown up more and more and more like the further I've gone like with working on myself.
Yeah, you're a good dater.
I'm trying to be.
You are. And you have kind of peppered in some comments when I'm like showing you like what's going on in my like dating Hinge world, and you're like, wait for, you know, like, don't be so eager, don't be a people pleaser, which is hard because I'm like, I won't text like 5 texts in a row, but like I do like to communicate like often and a lot if I'm interested in somebody.
Yeah,
and
well,
like,
you have to at the beginning, but like you have to match energy too.
oh yeah, but sometimes I'm like, I really want to chat. Where are you?
Come play with me.
Yes.
But you have to fight that.
Yeah.
Like,
or like I want to like not plan the date but help. Like, and
no.
I know that's like,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I just feel bad for these men. I'm like, I'll help. But no.
Okay, if he's coming from out of state, then, and he asks you specifically, like, what's your favorite place to eat where you live? Or, like, what are the top 3 places that you go to all the time in town? I'll answer that question. I'm not making a fucking reservation. I'm not calling a car service. No. Like,
No, well, that's just like holding their hand and planning the whole date.
hi. Yay. Bye. See, we're on Hinge right now.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, he was cute.
I thought he had no shoes for a minute.
I think he's hopeless. See, that's where we're at.
Oh.
But what were you saying? Like, I forget what I was rambling on about fucking bullshit about Hinge.
Letting men do the work.
Yeah, letting men be men and do, like, things to, like, make dates. And, like,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm sitting back and, like, chilling over here. Like, I'll travel to where you're at. I have had, relationships that were global, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, I've put in a lot of effort and energy into shit, trust me. And
That's
money.
a lot of effort and energy. I don't think
Yeah.
I could date global.
I was in the UK every, like, fucking 3 weeks for a while.
I dated a guy in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and that was far enough for me.
Yeah, it was a lot, and that relationship was very emotionally heavy and taxing and exhausting. Not just the travel. I think if it was lighter from, like, there were a lot of demands.
That's a intense relationship.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
very-
I can't even lock one down in the same town, but good for you.
And he's a very intense person. But I think that also, like, you have to be in order to, like, pull that off. So, like, we literally reworked each other's schedules. I traveled much more because he was in professional football, and during this season, like, their schedule is locked in. It's not like he was like, oh, and I have a girlfriend that lives overseas, so, like, I have to put in my travel. Like, that was done the year before we met. So, like, he was locked in and I wasn't. So I traveled more to the UK and a lot.
I think I would like that. I think I could take advantage of that.
It's cool.
Yeah, you get to travel.
You get to travel with someone, you get to see them very uncomfortable. And if they're like, I've seen when you travel, like, you get pushed, you're tired.
Yeah.
You're fucking, shit gets expensive sometimes that you
Yeah.
don't expect. Shit can get out of whack. Cars are late. You could miss flights. And people can respond in very interesting ways, and how you see someone.
It's actually really smart.
Yeah.
You get to see, like, how they handle
Oh my God.
stress.
My first time meeting somebody overseas, we were meeting at a hotel, and I had shown up early. I'm going to tell only part of the story because I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
But there was, like, an issue where I couldn't check into the hotel room early, but my flight was, like, a red eye, and so I was exhausted. And so we had this big issue with the hotel. And I had never met this person in person yet. It was just through, like, FaceTimes and stuff, like a lot of them. But this is our first in-time, like, person meeting.
That's really brave.
And I met him at the hotel. And it was kind of crazy to be like, I'm going on a first date in London right now.
Yeah.
It was kind of fucking cool. That alone.
Brave or crazy? I mean, you could have got hacked up.
But, like, no, we had talked, like, every night.
Yeah.
For, like, hours. Like, and there was a mutual friend who I went to Peru with, too. And
And he told her his last name.
and we knew each other,
Kidding.
and, like, we had the, connection.
Yeah.
Who was a very high caliber human that we both trusted very much. So I wasn't afraid of that, but I was, like, afraid. I'm like, I'm going to London on a first date. Like,
That's pretty cool.
very cool. And I think also that's why I did the TED Talk in London, because I was, like, there doing that relationship. And so my first, like, acceptance was in the UK, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
But he flipped out on the concierge
chills.
in front of me, and I was behind him the entire time, and I was sitting on my suitcase, and the front desk lady saw that I was standing behind him, and that she could, like, tell that I knew him, and he didn't know I was behind him the whole time and lost his mind
That's nice to see.
in a way that I was like, damn, okay, I
Yep.
see you.
Mm-hmm.
Also could have handled that a little differently, but, like, all right, like, lost his mind. He was sticking up for me, and also I think he was more angry about the credit card charge. But either way, like, I watched this guy, like, unravel in this, like, gracious kind of way, and I was like, it showed me so much about him, and that was the first time I ever saw him. And then he turned around
That's mortifying.
and was like, exactly, he was like, how long have you been there? And I'm like,
Yeah, long enough.
I like didn't even look at him anymore. I looked at the front desk chick, and I would go, the whole time. And he was like,
Yeah, you should turn around and apologize, Bob.
And then was like, at least I conducted myself with like some kind of grace. And I was like, you did. You actually did. I don't agree with all of it, but like, you did conduct yourself with grace in that scenario.
He gave himself a compliment after acting like a jerk.
He was handling a very fucked up situation that he could have prevented, but they were completely wrong. And
Well, you know, he could
He
have been
could've-
traveling too. He could have been exhausted.
but let's just say that he could have done this and this could have never even happened, but he chose to choose the other option
He chose violence.
because of financial reasons, because he was being cheap. And I'm not sugarcoating this, but like, you can't expect 5-star service in a 3-star hotel, and there's nothing wrong with either stars. Okay, I'm just saying they're 2 different stars, and if you go into, that's why they exist, this whole rating thing. You
But
can't
being-
expect that type of service at this type of establishment. And I knew that, and when I went there, I left that establishment and I went to the Ritz-Carlton, and I got exactly what I needed to get, and I stayed there for the night, and then I met him the next day and
At
watched
his
him
3-star hotel.
right at the 3-star hotel that he expected 5-star service from. So that was your fault, but also they were supposed to do something that they said they were going to do, and they didn't do it, and so that was their fault.
Things happen. People fuck up.
Yeah,
How do you handle it? How do you show
Yeah.
up?
very much so.
Yeah.
So we got to see that first time we met each other personally.
I dated a guy for around 8 months, and we went to dinner on Valentine's Day, and I knew in my head, I'm like, I'm going to break up with this dude. Because...
You did not break up with him on Valentine's Day.
Kind of. Well, like the day after. We just kind of drifted.
It ended.
I got busy. He was really rude to the waitress. She gave us the wrong check.
Don't ever do that, guys.
And it was slightly cheaper than what ours was. And he was ready to pay it and bounce. And I was like, she's going to eat that. She's going to have to pay that. Just bring her over, tell her she gave us the wrong check. She gave us the table next to us, and he was, no, we're just going to go. And I was like, that's gross.
No, guys, don't ever do that. Like, how you treat a waitress, how you treat a bartender, how you communicate with service. We both, and most of the women, if you're in your 40s and you've been hustling and grinding, you've been in the service industry at some fucking
At some point,
and we're gonna judge you.
we're going to judge you the way you tip.
We are gonna judge you the way
And
you
the way you
tip
talk
and
to people.
Talk to fucking service people. Like, you better fucking come correct. You better throw cash at them.
Yeah.
And be nice, but like also like.
That was a boat.
I'm not saying let people fucking walk all over you, but like how you treat someone there is going to determine if you get laid or not.
Yep. And he did not get
1000.
laid.
On Valentine's Day, he did not get laid.
No, that was awful. It was awful.
Gotta
And,
go do anything else.
and he paid the wrong check, and we bickered all the way home. And I already knew I didn't want to be with him anymore, but like being cheap and then also intentionally fucking somebody over because they made a mistake that you could have fixed.
By like dropping the wrong check. It was.
She was super busy. And it was
Valentine's
it's a holiday.
Day, motherfucker. Everybody and their mother's out, and it's like amateur hour.
Nobody wants to work on it.
Every person who's like a newbie that never goes out to eat is going out on fucking Valentine's Day,
Yep.
and like because they have to. It's like the one time a year. Because if you're not a go out person, this is the one time a year where you're required that your husband needs to take you to dinner, or you lose your shit.
Yeah, well, I hate Valentine's Day. I've used to wait tables and I've seen some shit go down. I've had people propose that have come back and been like, you put the ring in the shake. Sure did. That was a weird choice, but it's on you, buddy.
No.
No. Or like in the food. Why? Why put a ring
Expensive.
in food? And this one girl had, what was it, quesadilla, and she couldn't find it. And I came back to clear the plates, and he was like, trying to get me to prompt her. And I'm like, this is your engagement. I'm just here to serve you food and have you pay a bill, sir.
We're not participating in your play.
No. And also, don't while we're on the topic, do not propose in a restaurant like that.
No. Don't
Super
put
tacky.
rings in food. Don't do that. We don't need, not even in champagne. Do you know how expensive that shit is going to be? You don't put it in a liquid that's going to make it gross.
Yeah. And also, it's just dangerous. She could swallow that shit.
I get something bigger than 3 carats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, put a rock on that shit.
Yeah, 5. Go for 5.
Put a house on my hand. Just kidding.
Shiny.
I'll put a house on my own fucking hands.
Yeah. You have put a house on your...
Yeah, actually, yeah.
We're good there. Just, don't be cheap. That's like the whole last 20 minutes.
We're going to get so
Don't
murdered.
be a cheap asshole. No, the girls are going to agree. And the men who understand, because they have friends that are like this, that I'm sure they tell, like, that's a turn off.
Guys, just listen. We're telling you how to fucking win at this. Like, we're not the only ones that think this way.
No, I could care less about money. It's just the integrity behind it and the way you treat other people. Like, it just goes
I've
such a
done
long
more
way.
for less. I've done more for less.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
But now we know our standards.
Yeah, now we're 40s.
Yeah, now we have our own fucking money.
Yeah. We
Fuck
don't need your
off.
money. But just be generous with it anyway.
But not even to us, to the service people is the point.
Yeah.
That's how this all started. This had nothing to do with us.
Nope. If you're a shitty tipper, like, it's unattractive. But also don't chat up the waitress when you're on a date. I've never had that happen to me, but I've seen it happen. Men on dates that are just
No.
like, let's have a just huge conversation with the hot waitress.
No, stop. Goodbye. I'm out. Go date her. I'm fine with it too. Like, live your life. I'm not mad about it.
No.
But
No.
like, don't waste my time. Like, I think that's another thing is like we're so conscious of like how much our time is actually worth at this point. I think once you get into that space, where, especially as entrepreneurs, and who get paid hourly, like very well, we're like, I
We
could have
don't
just
sleep.
made $5,000 on that date. Like,
Yeah.
what am I do? Like, what? Fuck off. Like,
Got emails to answer.
I just lost a massive contract.
But this was worth it.
Yeah.
Make it
'cause
worth it.
Yeah, make it worth it.
Mhm.
We're worth it.
Mhm.
So that went left. That whole conversation took a hard left.
Yeah. You went
Didn't-
from Hinge to bashing cheap men.
Didn't mean to go that way. And nor are we're not gold digging horse.
No,
in
we're
any
just
way.
speaking freely about
Yeah.
things that we've witnessed.
Turn.
Yeah,
huge turn-offs.
let's turn right. Let's talk about we'll end soon, but let's talk about what
I did to my face.
yeah, let's talk about what Dee did to her face.
I flew to LA and got Sculptra put in some of my cheek area, and I got a Cosmelon peel for melasma. I get it like once a year, and then I had a bunch of moles removed from my back cosmetically, so that like
Girl went for it.
so that I had a bunch in my front that I had taken off and that looked so good that I was like, I want all of these off of my body.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, everything hurt that I said. Everything hurt.
Was it worth it?
It was so worth it. So it's almost been 2 weeks and I'm still kind of like puffy. I feel puffy in my body, definitely. Like my immune system is in the shitter. But like this is what I do. So like I know what I need to do in order to get myself back and feeling better. But I just have very much been recovering for 2 weeks. My face has been really peeling off and it's very chapped, but I had really bad melasma and I've done this peel. This is the second time now. The first time was it was worse than this. It took me like almost
your
2
skin looks
months.
great.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Like you can see the hyperpigmentation's gone. Like
Yeah.
I had one coming up like here and across my lips, so it looked like I had a mustache. Like you have to like look really, really.
You know what we're
Tight.
talking about, though.
But especially because I have dark hair and it can look like I have a shadow, but it was sun damage, and so that came off. Like you can totally notice it on my forehead.
I don't see it anymore.
It's gone.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could remove that. And
It's really
who'd you
hard
go see in
to.
LA?
I saw Coco. Well, I did 2 separate people. I saw Coco for the Sculptra and for the mole removal. She did the front of me, and she also did my lips too. which is like you can't even notice that I have anything in them. Like they just get really, really dehydrated, and from like the weight loss that I've had, they like sag and like seep in a little
perfect.
bit.
You can't even
now they're
tell.
perfect, and they don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like I have
Yeah,
anything
you don't
in my
want to look
lips.
like too done up.
I just want to look like how I look right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like look like a duck or like a lizard.
Just little tweaks.
You just a little dab will fucking do ya. Like once.
Everyone's overdoing it.
No overdoing anything.
Like,
I love the
2023, 2024 was like overdo your face.
Yeah, well,
I did
come out
on
of COVID.
accident.
Come out of COVID
yeah.
and overdo your face because we haven't put Botox in our like body.
I know. I was like, put all the needles
Yeah,
in.
I need everything done, all of it at the same time. But I felt like if you just maintain how you look healthy, just don't put too much fucking filler in your face. Don't put too much shit in your
Yeah.
lips. Like a little teeny tiny tweaky deaky here and there is okay.
Do you know how many milligrams she put in your lips?
No.
No, because they look perfect.
I couldn't even feel my tongue at that point. I was in like I like don't do
Numbed.
well
The whole
with
face
pain.
was
Yeah, my
numbed.
whole face was numb, my back was numb, and I was lidocaine injected too.
You
so
must have walked out of there like a zombie.
I was
Take
in
me
a
to the
different
car.
Cat drove and she was like trying to talk to me. I was like, I can't talk right now. Like I couldn't even comprehend.
bye.
Like
Just drive.
I couldn't even form a sentence. I showed up at Erica's house and she was like, "You're not as bad as you were last time." I'm like, "I know, but it's not sentences." I couldn't make sentences happen.
Sentences. That's crazy.
And then the next morning, my flight got switched. So I woke up in pain with ice packs. I did an hour and 20-minute meditation with my face with ice packs on it. It's like, just so you know where I was at.
And then you had to put stuff on your face.
Yeah, like and then I got the peel later that night after I did the injections and like the mole removal. I went to another doctor's office and then I had the Cosmolon peel put on, and that stays on your face for 8 hours. So I drove back to Costa Mesa and I sat with my friends with this peanut butter shit on my face until 9 o'clock at night, and then I rinsed that off.
Looking like an Oompa Loompa.
And I still look like an Oompa Loompa, and then I put this other stuff on and I went to sleep, and then I got up the next morning to see that my flight had been completely changed. I was rebooked by American Airlines to a flight that was a red eye that had no layover until like it was like a 14-hour layover, and there was no place for me to sleep. So I would get into like
With all that shit
Chicago,
on your face.
yeah, with the shit on my face like a dumpster fire, because I was a dumpster fire
So
at
you're
this
like,
point.
bring back the COVID mask. I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Put 'em
I
on.
was in so much pain and so much like shock in my body. And I just immediately, like I was going to get into Chicago at 6 o'clock at night, and then my flight wasn't going to leave to go back to Providence until like 8 o'clock the next morning. And I was like, no, hell no. I just Google flight. I find another Delta flight. I buy that. Then 2
was
hours
smart.
later, they do the same shit. They rebook my flight without having a fucking conversation with me.
But you
to-
handled it so well.
But they did the same thing. They put me on like a flight that had the same layover.
That's
So
bullshit.
I just had to like go to the airport with no idea when I was getting on an airplane and just be like, "Hey, can I go to Boston instead? Anybody? Any of the 2 airlines that I have flights on?
Somebody just get me home.
Can I go to Boston?" And they were like, "Yes, actually, there's a flight in 10 minutes that you can get on and you can go to Boston." And I was like, "We'll take that one for 100. And
Thanks, Pat.
but I had another flight that I didn't get on. So I just was like, fuck it.
Sometimes
Insurance.
sometimes you gotta book another flight and just jump.
Yeah, so
You'll get, if you
always
you-
book
health-
travel insurance.
Yeah, travel insurance. I want to say health insurance. If you have travel insurance, you'll get reimbursed. Did you get reimbursed?
I'm in the middle of that process. It's
We'll
on the
call-
list.
Yeah, we'll get my mom
Maryland.
after it.
We'll get our mom on it.
If you need an older woman to sit on the phone and haggle for you,
Yes.
my mom is retired and she's willing to play.
She is phenomenal.
Yes.
Actually, I've been thinking about trying to get her in a cut of like what she saves me, because this woman,
We just need to bring her in for an admin day and
Yes.
and let her call all of the peoples.
she would be the world's best administrative assistant.
Yes.
and she would make her own money back to pay her.
Yeah.
Because she would find all of your savings.
She's so good with getting money back.
Like,
Or just
that
getting
would,
stuff at the cheapest level she can. But
I feel like that's her niche.
that is her niche.
I think we could get, I am not kidding, I would, if she can find, I'm spending the money, 100% of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if she wants to find it, save it for me, I'll give her 25% of what she found. Because I would be spending 100%.
Yeah, she's so good at making sure that you're not like wasting your dollars.
Like, get her on American Express.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I got a lot.
We need to film that.
I can't legally do that, actually.
Just her on the phone.
Okay, just clips of her, yeah.
Hi, Joe. This is Marilyn. Let me just tell you. She'll have a whole conversation with somebody for like 2 hours. I'm like, Mom, who were you talking to? She's like, oh, that was a credit guy. Credit guy for what?
Joe, he's got 3 kids. He lives in Nebraska.
Yeah, she knows.
His blood type is AB positive. Like,
she makes these connections, and it's because she likes to talk to people, but it also, what is the word I'm looking for?
It's very personable.
Yeah. And people aren't like that anymore. They're like,
they're rude as fuck.
They're rude as fuck. They're like, how fast can we get this and get out of here? So I switched my insurance to her insurance because my insurance was double. And she called the guy up, and she knows his father. She knows his. She's had this insurance and the same guys for 30 years.
Yeah, she knows Joe.
Yeah, she knows people. She's smart. She's so funny. She'll bring back a can of peanut butter if it's like expired. She'll get that $4 back. She's wild.
But she is a collector too.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But with taste.
Yeah,
Marilyn has taste.
Marilyn likes Chanel. She likes Louis.
We would get along.
Yeah.
We are going to get along.
Yeah. She'll pull out her Chanel lipstick and be like, look, this is Chanel. They don't even make this anymore.
Ford lipsticks I could give her.
Oh, she would love that. Her favorite color is red.
Okay,
She likes a red lip.
Many shades of red.
And my mom is like one of the ladies that like after you have dinner, she puts her lipstick on right away.
We'll get her some Tom Ford.
And she's got her big black Chanel sunglasses. She's funny. But she's also wildly inappropriate and crazy. Like, she's got a good sense of humor.
Hi.
What are you guys doing? You on TV?
Yeah.
You doing a show?
Yeah.
Are you influencers?
I don't know what I am anymore.
Do you want to be influenced?
You gotta drop your cards and let people know.
I will.
Because I saw the lights are pointing out, right?
We will definitely put the URL up here.
Yeah, what are you doing up there?
We're recording.
Huh?
We're recording.
Where'd that voice come from?
We're just recording us. We're just talking.
Try to throw everything you
And now we're recording all of you guys.
What?
What? It's perfect. The weather's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
The weather's
nice.
amazing. Oh, how was it? Amazing. Tomorrow is supposed to be the same, right? What? I would love to. You need to meet Jen. Have you met Jen?
Who's that, Danielle?
Yes.
Hi, Danielle. Oh, that's Emmy.
Stay. All right, bye. Bye.
We'll have to invite Danielle up here.
Danielle's coming up.
Yeah.
Danielle, you're going to record with us.
She went inside.
Danielle's going to record with us.
Yeah, we'll bring. She lives below. We'll bring all the people on. We should just walk around with this.
We're going to end up downtown,
Yeah.
like, recording this freaking
That will be
Bowens.
fun because we
I
don't
would
really
kill
drink
it.
libation, so we're like very aware of what's going on, which makes it easier to record everything and have self-dignity.
That we're going to end up in Bowens, 4th of July weekend, recording the show, and you guys are going to see what Newport's like, and
Yeah,
people
if
are
you've
gonna...
never been to Newport, it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
So apparently we need to make a sign with a URL to our channel,
Yeah.
because
To
that
let
guy's
everyone
interested.
know. That one guy.
This is going to become a thing. That just solidified the fact that it's now a thing, didn't it? Really
Didn't it?
just did that. It really just did it, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, this is a fun
This is
place to record because people are walking by, going downtown, and it's We should do it even later next time because it's if you could hear and see the things that we hear and see on a daily basis, it's pretty funny.
We're gonna be so stoned if we do this later.
Already stoned.
Yeah, it's time for ice cream.
Yeah, it's time for ice cream.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
It's the first couch series confessional. I guess that's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
The couch series confessional.
So it's got a good ring.
All right.
I like it.
Peace. Thanks, guys.